Today, we're going to be doing a sweet potato casserole. My name's Sammy Loera. I'm the health agent at Zapata County. This is a perfect recipe for the holidays, and we will be sort of modifying it from a traditional holiday casserole. So our main ingredients today are sweet potatoes. We're going to be using some sweet and low, some egg whites, some bran flakes, some pecans. Here we have some evaporated milk, a little bit of vanilla. We're going to be using a whole egg, cinnamon, light margarine, a little bit of brown sugar, and that's it. So the first thing obviously is to wash your hands, prepare your area. You'll be using a little bit of your hands with the sweet potatoes. I went ahead and boiled them beforehand, and this actually speeds up the process when you're going to be blending them in a little bit. So these are our sweet potatoes. So the sweet potatoes is gonna add a smooth texture at the bottom of the recipe of the dish, and with the other ingredients that I'll be talking about in a little bit, is gonna add some texture at the top with the pecans and the flakes, the bran flakes. So the first thing would be to preheat your oven to 350. Today we don't have an oven, but we're gonna pretend that we preheat it, and that usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes. So while that's getting nice and hot, we're gonna be preparing our ingredients. The first thing, and we have everything pre-measured here to speed up the process. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna chop the sweet potatoes just a little bit more. And as you can tell, by boiling them, it created a softer texture, and this is gonna help the blender go a little bit quicker. Now we're gonna go ahead and put sweet potato in the blender. So the next thing to do is going to be to we're gonna go ahead and add the sweet and low. So sweet and low is just gonna add a little bit of flavor. It's artificial sweeteners. You could use any other type of artificial sweetener. Today we're gonna be using the sweet and low, and we're only gonna be using 3 packages. And then the next thing would be to add 5 ounces of evaporated milk. Evaporated milk is just, actually we're gonna be using evaporated skim milk. And this is just, it's a little bit thicker than regular skim milk. And it's gonna add a little bit of, it's gonna make it a little bit thicker, and the evaporated milk just doesn't have the same amount of fat that regular skim milk would have. The next thing would be, it calls for 1 egg and 2 egg whites. So today we have our egg whites right here, and we're gonna measure them in a little bit. Right now I'm gonna put the egg in here. And you could definitely use, separate the yolk from the egg whites with regular eggs. I went ahead and bought the egg whites, and it calls right here, the measurements are 2 tablespoons for 1 large egg. Our next ingredient is going to be half a teaspoon of vanilla. So this is already pre-measured, and this is only going to also just add a little bit more flavor, a little bit of sweetness to it. So we're going to go ahead and blend this, these 5 ingredients all together. So after blending your 5 ingredients, we're gonna go ahead and create the topping for this casserole. We're gonna go ahead and grab a small mixing bowl, and then we're gonna go ahead and put together the toppings by mixing them. The first ingredient is gonna be, and this is all pre-measured, 2 tablespoons of light margarine, and this is definitely better if you melt it beforehand. Today we don't have a heat source, so we're gonna go ahead and use it like this. The next ingredient is going to be 1 cup of crushed bran flakes. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna grab a Ziploc bag, and we're gonna put the 1 cup of bran flakes in here. Zip it up, and we're gonna slightly crush the flakes as so. So this is what's gonna be adding some texture to the top of the casserole. So the next thing, it's going to be our 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar. So this is 2 tablespoons right here. Next one is going to be half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And you could definitely use nutmeg as well. And our last ingredient is going to be some chopped pecans. And you could also use almonds. They definitely carry a lot of calories, so we want to be able to reduce that with using some bran flakes, and that is still going to be adding some texture to our casserole. So now we're going to be preparing our casserole. Right here, this is a 2-quart casserole pan. We're going to take out our ingredients from our blender. Left-handed. We're going to pour it all in here. As you can see, it has created this thick layer of the sweet potatoes. So we're going to make sure that we spread this evenly. Make sure we use a spatula. Using a spoon today. Once we have it nice and even, we're gonna go ahead and add our toppings. Also make sure that you cover the top nice and evenly. As you can tell, you can see the texture that it's going to be adding to the casserole. And by the time that we finish prepping our recipe, our oven should be preheated to 350, and this is where we're going to be adding our casserole to the oven. So we're going to bake it to 30 to 40 minutes, and we're going to see if there's a nice fluffiness to the sweet potatoes, and that the topping has become a little bit darker, and that should mean that it's already ready. So this is how it should look before putting it in the oven. And this is our finished product. We're going to be serving 2 plates today. So thank you for joining us. I hope that you really like our sweet potato casserole. This casserole makes about 6 servings and 2 versions. You can make it 2 versions with some pecans or without the pecans, and that's going to give you about a 30-calorie difference between each version of the recipe. The one with the pecans will be about 180 per serving, and the one without pecans will be about 150 calories per servings. So enjoy the holidays, and I hope that you like the recipe. Thank you.